Hello, welcome to the summer 2025 session at CSN. My name is Mr. Bills. This is the History 101 Summer 2025 class introduction video. I'm going to be going over the class, course information, and expectations for you to have a successful summer semester. First, we need to get to the syllabus and course information. The first thing you'll do is go to go.csn.edu, use your username and password, and log in. Once you log into go.csn.edu, you'll come to this page. You'll have different tiles than mine. I have different tiles than you do. The two main ones you'll use with me are the blue tile, which is your CSN Outlook email, and then the red tile is your Canvas email. It is important to check your email regularly, especially with me. I am known as a above average emailer to students. Okay, so make sure you check your blue Outlook email at the minimum once a week, but I encourage you to go longer. And then also you'll need to make sure, definitely check your Canvas email regularly. How do you get to the Canvas site? You click on the red button, red tile. It takes you to another dashboard, which lists your classes. This is my dashboard. It lists my classes and things I'm involved in. You'll have your classes. We are History 101, Section 1007. When you click that, it takes you to this page right here. I'll make it bigger. This is U.S. History to the Civil War. We're Section 1007. I thought I had changed it already. This is History 101, Section 1007, Summer 2025. This is a 10-week class, June 2nd to August 10th. So that's the home page. You will use the module section, and you can look at your grades. Right now, you can see this is my page, so it shows all the hidden stuff. You won't worry about that. You'll just worry about the module section and the grade section on the left-hand side menu. Let's go to the module section on the left-hand side menu. Course information. This will have this video that you see now. It has the syllabus and it has the syllabus quiz. And then down below, you'll have each week review videos for the test, some fun stuff. I have playlists on my YouTube channel you can listen to for fun. And then we have weekly quizzes and your chapter reflection questions that you'll want to work on. Up to the course information section. Let's log in. Let's open up the syllabus. You'll click on the link. It takes you to the syllabus page. Mr. Bill, Summer 2025. If you want to see me, West Charleston, Building A001B. Then my phone number. It has other information. Class textbook. It is an ebook. Examining Interpretations by L. Troy Bills. I am L. Troy Bills. You have two options to get it. Option one, you can buy the access card through CSN Bookstore. If you would prefer to go through the publisher, you will go to this website, and this is what when you click on that link, this is what you'll see. Let's try to get rid of that green box. You'll log into, so I log into my account. You will scroll down to see purchase. If you're looking at it on your phone, you have to scroll down a little bit to see purchase. You will purchase, you can press purchase. It takes you to the next screen. You need to type in an institution. You need to type in College of Southern Nevada. So, College of Southern Nevada. And then you'll need to pick an online publication. we are examining interpretations. And then you click next, and it goes on to purchasing access to my ebook. So make sure you pick the right ebook. Call to Sign Nevada, U.S. History of the Civil War, Examining Interpretations, and then you go through the process of buying access. And then you can use the textbook. I did not receive any money. You will not receive any money for the textbooks. There you have that. Course navigation is on there. I've divided the class into 2 units. Lecture 1 through 10 is Unit 1, which is Test 1. You have Unit 2 covers lectures 11 through 20. Those are my PowerPoint slides. You'll have a syllabus quiz, 2 tests. The tests are essay. In the ebook, I have weekly quizzes and reflection activities, little writing assignments, which you will complete. There are 14 chapters. You will complete 7 chapters times 10 points, which brings you to the 70 points. Grading. Grade your figure pretty easily. Add what you've got to the total possible. There's your score. Everything due on Sundays. August 10th is the last day your work can be accepted. Student work is ideally done within, I give back works within 7 days. Your 2 tests will be essays. You'll have 10 essay questions. You'll have 250 words each. You'll have to write 250 words each essay. I do have a review sheet and a review video in the module section, so you'll know basically what you're supposed to be studying for, so you can do well. You'll have 7 days to take the test. You can complete on your own pace. Just be done within 7 days. For example, the first test is due July 6th. And so you have the week before to do that up to July 6th. I recommend students, once the test becomes available, the Monday before the test is due, I recommend students take the questions, cut and paste them into a Word document, work on the test that week in the Word document, and then when you're ready to submit, transfer your answers back into Canvas and then submit. I've taken out the writing assignments. Let me edit that real quick. Next, when I go over academic integrity, cheating is mainly plagiarism. There's other ways to cheat. The biggest issue students have, the biggest way students cheat is plagiarism, which is passing your work off to somebody else. As else is the best way to avoid plagiarism is to cite your sources, cite where you have the information. Since 2022, as you're probably aware, in late 2022, what came out? AI. And so I need to address AI a little bit. My view on AI is, like anything, it's a tool. There's appropriate uses and inappropriate uses of the tool. An appropriate use of AI would be to study. For example, my oldest son uses AI to create quizzes. He'll type his notes in to the program, ChatGPT or whatever, and then ask it to give him a quiz on the information. So that's an appropriate use. And another appropriate use is you're reading a textbook or you're watching a video and you want to learn more about information. So, what are some primary documents related to this person or something like that? Or help me understand this passage that I don't understand right now. AI is good for that. An inappropriate use of AI is to type into the chat box, what is the answer to this question? And then have a ChatGPT give you an answer, and then you just cut and paste it in. And so I I generally encourage students to use AI as little as possible. Don't make them dependent on it. It's not perfect. You know, it has issues too. It's not an end all be all. And so I encourage students to be careful with their use. Use it in a limited way, very restrictive, limited way. Um, on the test, I want to know what you think. So there'd be no need to use AI because I want to know what you think about something. And so, what is your understanding of the topic? So, AI would be irrelevant. Um, it would be a relevant use there. We have a library, facility resource center, and technical help. Online FAQs, no Wikipedia. Would not use Wikipedia as a valid source of information. It's unfortunate to me when when I look at AI sites, and unfortunately they use Wikipedia, which is horribly wrong. Do not use Wikipedia. If you use it, don't admit to me that you do. Student refund policy. Problems or concerns. The first thing to do is to talk to me. Let's see if we'll work it out. Then you talk to Dr. Davis, the department chair. And that is the appropriate way to get it. Teaching philosophy. Students earn their grades. I don't give them students earn your grade. I'm just a scorekeeper. Minimum requirement does not equal maximum grade. Okay. Number 3 is extremely important. Communication. It's extremely important to talk to me if you have an issue. I may not be able to give you the answer you want, or I may not be able to do the solution you want, but at least we talked about it. Okay. Very important. Next, let's go back to the module section. You have a syllabus. Once you read the syllabus, you can take the syllabus quiz. And each week you will have something to do. Week 1 overview is just telling you what we're going to be doing, what we're studying, I guess. Then I have lectures. Lecture 1 is Native America. Lecture 1, you have objectives. Where do the essay questions come from for the 2 tests? It comes from the objectives. So if you can answer these questions, you should be fine. Speaking of the test, I don't do a midterm and a final, so it's just test 1 and test 2. If you want to call test 1 a midterm and test 2 a final, you're welcome to. But I just label them differently. You'll read chapter, like for each lecture, you'll have a chapter to read the ebook, and then you'll have PowerPoints to look at, a handout to look at. I do have video lectures. I have a YouTube channel where I have video lectures. You can watch them. If they are multiple videos like this, they tend to be shorter. There are a few where it's just one video, and it does get kind of long. But these are, like for example, lecture 1. These are relatively short because I've divided them up. And so you just kind of go through and look at that. Module lecture 2, Rise of Europe. And you'll review, you have the slides, you have some, the video to watch. So for example, lecture 2, the reason there's multiple videos is I've chunked it up in just like 10, 15 minute bites. So you can kind of get the gist without getting drowned. And sometimes I have just interesting videos. So that's the module section. There is a review video, test 1 review video. I have YouTube playlists, so you can, for fun, look that over. Down below, you have test 2 review video. You'll take the test in Canvas. So test 2 is in week 10. Test 1 is in week 5. So test 1 is due July 6th. Test 2 is due August 10th. This is the last day of the class. For your weekly things to do, you have weekly quizzes and weekly chapter reflection questions. Okay? So, you'll be working them out of the ebook. So you'll need the ebook. Your assignments are in there. So there's 14 chapters in the ebook. Okay? You'll need to do 7 of those chapters. So, for example, so there's chapter 1. Each chapter has a weekly quiz, and so there's 14 chapter quizzes. I'm just going to grade you on 7. So if you just do 7, great. If you do more than 7, I'll do the best 7. But you just kind of work through as you go through each chapter. You'll need to read the chapter, and then you will take the quizzes. So you work through that. Along with each weekly quizzes, you have reflection questions. And I'll show you the ebook in just a sec. And what you'll do is you'll pick 7 chapters to work on there. So, for example, chapter 1 has 3 reflection questions. Later on, like 14 only has 1. 12 only has 1. So I imagine most students will do the later chapters because they only have 1. Like 9 has 1, 10 has 1, 11 has 1, 12. So I imagine most students will do these later ones. But I hope that you'll work on at least a few of the early ones too. So that's the other thing. You don't have to do the same thing on both. So for example, you can do the week 1 quiz, the chapter 1 quiz. If you do the chapter 1 quiz, but not do the chapter reflection question. Okay, you pick which 7. You do 7 quizzes and 7 chapters of reflection questions. So you can choose which you want to do. If you notice, so when you look at the quizzes, you'll notice, for example, chapter 1 and 2 are both due June 8th. 3 and 4 are both due June 15th. 5 and 6 are both due June 27th. 7 and 8 are both due June 29th. Okay, so what do you notice? If you do 2 chapters a week, you'll be done with your book stuff by June 29th. You get it? If you only do 1 a week, like chapter 1 and 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, you'll be done, later on. So the course is structured where you decide how quickly you want to work. If you just want to do one thing a week, that's fine. It'll take you through the end of the semester. If you want to do 2 a week, that's fine too. You'll just be done quicker. All right. So let's say you get to the end of the semester and you're like, oh crap, I only have 6 of 7 chapters done. You can go work on a previous question or previous chapter. It's just if it's already past due, that'll be for partial credit. So that's how that works. So you got to be disciplined when you decide what you want to do. Same thing with the weekly chapter reflection questions. So for example, June 8th, I have 1 and 2. That's quite a bit. Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. If you just want to do 1, that's fine as well. So you decide how much you want to do. For example, down here at the end, like July 27th just has 1. July 20th has 2, 11.1, 12.1. So I imagine most students will be strategic and do the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I imagine most students will do the last group because it's so smaller. I hope you'll do some of these bigger ones early, but I know human nature. And I'll be correcting that for the fall. In the fall, I'll just have it work through 2 weeks. Next, I'll show you the ebook. Okay, this is what my ebook looks like. U.S. History of the Civil War, Examining Interpretations, L. Troy Bills. Again, you have 14 chapters in the ebook. You will work on, you'll do the assignments in 7. Remember, there's chapter quizzes, and then there's reflection questions. You'll do 7 chapter quizzes, 7 reflection questions. They do not have to be the same 7 chapters. So, for example, chapter 1. Chapter 1, you'll read the information. You'll answer these reflection questions, 50-word minimum each. And these reflection questions are not a completion. They're not a completion assignment. You can get less than the full point. So, some of them, they're only worth 3 points. Like, for example, chapter 1 has 3 reflection questions, so it's 3 points each for 9 points. And then I'll give a point just to get it done. But they're not just completion questions. You have to say something. Say something, good, decent, analytical, your point of view, stuff like that. You back it up and support your answer. And so what you do here is you'll write your answer and you'll submit it, and then I get it and I grade it. You do have knowledge checks. These are ungraded practice questions. For example, this knowledge check is based on this text right here. You take your knowledge check quiz. It's ungraded. This is ungraded, so just kind of see how you do. I'll give you a hint. The chapter quiz at the end is the same questions as the knowledge check. So it shouldn't be too hard. So if you have another reflection question, you write it out. You can take a knowledge check quiz, sorry. I do have audio lectures, my native Nevada. I do have my audio lectures. These are short, 7 to 15 minutes. So you can listen to that and get more information. Take a chapter quiz, and that is graded. The chapter quiz is graded. The knowledge checks are not graded. Chapter quizzes are graded. And they are actually the same questions. So you should technically do really well. So again, chapter 2, Rise of Europe. You'll read. Some of them are primary document reading. For example, in chapter 2, you'll read a primary document. It's a letter from an Italian guy who lived in Europe during the bubonic plague outbreak. So he writes a letter about what it was like to live in the city and stuff. So you would read that. And then you answer and talk about your point of view. Okay. So that's the ebook. Okay. And you'll do the questions in the ebook, and I get them and I'll grade them. Right. And again, so once again, there's 2 chapters due every week. You decide which 2 you want to do. Yeah, you just have to do 7. So that if you do 2 chapters a week, you'll be done at week 4. If you miss a week, that's fine. Just make sure you don't you do more. You got to make sure you do it later, kind of thing. So also remember, these aren't completion questions. You can do poorly on them. You get less than perfect points if you do not do well. And so that runs through the course. Watch the video, read the syllabus, and make sure you know if you have any questions. Have a great day.